but we actually believed that Target was our friend. We invited them to the cookout. You know that you're a part of the family when we give you a nickname. The nickname for Target became Target. After all, we spent $12 million a day. They are one of the highest employers of Black people in this country, and they had been resolved to put Black products on their shelves. A group of grassroots organizers out of Minneapolis. That's where it is that Target is headquartered. It is also the scene of the crime where George Floyd was murdered. They began mobilizing to ask people in that city, don't darken the footsteps into Target. I watched it and I was awe-inspired. People around the country started posting, and an epiphany came to me that the church has got to be involved. And so I began to charge forward, saying that from Ash Wednesday to Good Friday, known in Christian communities as Lent, we will call for a fast from Target. Why was that important? For the last 20 years, there's been a noticeable absence and a deafening silence from the Black church at large around social issues. And this marks the 70th anniversary of the Montgomery bus boycott, when Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat, and for every night for 381 days, African Americans and like-minded conscientious believers stormed into churches for prayer, for direction, and for grounding. I took that blueprint and said to the body of Christ at large here in America, soldiers, it is time to put boots on the ground. And over 200,000 people rushed to Target fast and said, we're going to stand with you and we're going to stand with New Birth. Over 2,000 churches signed that covenant commitment. And I want you to know I had no idea how far it would go. There were people who were on social media that laughed and scoffed and sneered and said it'll have no impact. It will not move the needle. Nothing will come out of it. Amazingly, all of our naysayers were wrong. We asked for 4 things. Number 1, we asked if we're spending $12 million a day in Target, then $250 million should go into Black banks so that we could have access to capital, so that we would, in fact, be able to have a slice of the American pie in terms of home ownership. Secondly, we asked that they would partner with at least 6 HBCUs so that our young emerging students would learn how to do business and bring it to scale. Third, we asked that there would be a reimagining of what it is, hear this, that DEI look like, even if it is under a different name and had a different definition, because we realize that it is under attack and under assault because of this Trump-Musk presidency that's trying to roll back the hands of time. We asked, ladies and gentlemen, that there would, in fact, be equal parity for us to be able to have dignity, since so many of us have committed to this corporation. Ladies and gentlemen, we did not do it without fasting, without prayer, without consideration, and without strategy. And so in so doing, you can't tell people what not to do without telling them what to do. We partnered with the U.S. Black Chamber of Commerce. And in so doing, 200,000 people received a digital directory of 150,000 businesses where they could shop, spend, and invest in their own local communities. About a month into our fast, I was able to sit at a table with the CEO of Target, one of their board members, and one of their strategic consequential staff. We agreed at one of those 4 things. That was the honoring of the commitment they made of $2 billion after the death of George Floyd for entrepreneurs. They agreed to that. And 3 days later, the president and CEO of Target was summoned to the White House. And that, my friends, is where conversations stopped. Negotiations came to a standstill. And from that day to this one that I am speaking to you, we've not heard from Target. 56 churches on the 5th anniversary of George Floyd's murder went outside of Targets across the country for 9 minutes and 20 seconds for nonviolent prayer and righteous indignation. 13 weeks we stayed out of Target. And in those 13 weeks, history was made because I want you to know the valuation dropped by $12 billion. Because of our committed, organized, unified efforts, the stock went down from $145 a share to $93 a share. Because we held on to the line, you should know that the CEO's salary was slashed by 43%. Please don't listen to those who are in the cheap seats. You made a difference. Foot traffic at Target nationally dropped by 9.7%, and online orders at the exact same route. You did it. Pat yourself on the back. Pull confetti out of your pocket. You are a history maker, a world changer, and you are defying what is happening in a fascist society. I'm excited because we are not stopping. We're going forward. And so with all of the companies that were in front of us, people were asking, why did you just pick one institution? The African proverb came to mind. In order to eat an elephant, you can only do it one bite at a time. In choosing singular focus, we saw maximum results. And so we have hereby officially canceled Target. So many times we have canceled individuals, celebrities, and athletes, and actors, and entertainers. But now we're canceling a company. Target, we're finished with you. You are not invited to the cookout. We're on to the next one while we're staying steadfast that we still ain't going into Target. Next up is Dollar General.